Okay guys, this is part 2 of the video we started on James's channel, which is discussing why an expat would leave the United States and come to the Philippines to live. And there were a number of topics we're going to get into. We've got into a few on his channel. We're going to continue and finish up on this channel. So speaking about children, we're going to talk a little bit about U.S. citizenship, and then why would you still, even though you have U.S. citizenship children, raise them here in the Philippines?
So I get this question. People think that, and from the questions they ask me, they imply that your wife wants a visa, she wants to come to the United States, and of course you're going to want to raise your kids in the United States. You've obviously chosen to raise your kids here in the Philippines, and they're dual citizens, correct? They're American citizens.
They're dual citizens.
And
if you have children here in the Philippines, you have to do what's called, or you should do what's known as a Child Report Birth Abroad, CRBA. You report that you've had a child here to the U.S. Embassy, you file for U.S. citizenship, you can even get them a passport, as soon as you file. And I recommend, here's what I did. My mistake I made was I waited until I had my son, and he was almost 4 years old before I filed for their citizenship. He was 3 years old. And the problem with that is now I had to prove for my 12-year-old daughter and my 9-year-old daughter and my son up to 3 years old, I had to show before birth, my wife pregnant, showed the pregnancy test, showed her with the baby, the different pictures, the different years, months going through the pregnancy, when she had the child, then the fact that we've been together, we've never left each other since then, so you document over time a lot of pictures. You need to take a lot of pictures, guys. So imagine my 12-year-old daughter, okay? Lucky I'm a kind of guy that likes to take pictures, so I had an abundance of pictures for all of my children. From the day they were born, before they were born, activities my wife and I were doing. We've never been apart from each other. We pretty much always travel together. There's only twice I went on business trip without her, so we're always together. So we had plenty to show and easy proof that, yes, I was with her, yes, this is my child. The children even look like me. We weren't required to do a DNA. Okay, so it was very, very obvious to the embassy that these are my children, and so it was very easy. We went in for an interview. We did all the documents, turned them in, and I'm going to tell you the simple way to do it. Okay, guys, take your document package, put your package together, follow the CRBA checklist perfectly down the list. Once you get all of that, put it in an LBC package or an Air 21 or FedEx or however you want to get it to the embassy, okay? And you send it to the embassy. Within 2 weeks, they are going to email you with an interview date, okay? If you go into the embassy, you make appointments and all that, it takes months and months and months and months. If you do it this way, it's very quick. So they email you, they say, this is your appointment date, bring these documents, all the originals of these documents that you've submitted, the birth certificates, your marriage license, all the child's birth, everything about your children, and any documents that you might have missed. When you sent your CRBA in, they will ask you to bring those with you. So you bring those documents with you, gather it all together, get it in a nice neat package, take it in on the day they tell you, be there early, spend the night somewhere near the embassy the night before if you're from out of town like I am, and then the next morning get yourself in a taxi, get over there and get your interview done, and then pay your fee to get their citizenship. Is like I think it's $100 or $140, very cheap. $100 I believe per child. And then if you want to get the passport, it's $140 more. You fill out the certificate, the application for passport, you submit it with your package. When you submit it at the very beginning, when you send them in by FedEx or whatever, send in your certificates for your children to get the passport. The reason I didn't do it was because we know we're not leaving the Philippines and going to go live in the United States. My wife and I talked about this a million times. We don't want to live in the United States. We don't want to raise our children in the United States. Okay? Here's the reason why. Schools in the United States teach the rainbow as the proper way to live. to the children. Okay? Children can decide what they want to be based on a teacher teaching them what they feel is right, not what the parents are teaching them is the right way to grow up. Okay? They're so confused in the US, they don't know if they're a boy or a girl. That's what it boils down to. They don't know. They think that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. I identify as a cat. I identify as a monkey. It doesn't matter. They're so messed up in the head, and I don't want my children exposed to that. I see it. I see it on TV. I see it everywhere. And it's disgusting. And so would I rather have a disgusting life for my children or a healthy, clean life in the province of the Philippines where everything is beautiful? They don't teach DEI, woke. They don't teach gay in the classrooms, transgender, blah, 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 blah. They don't fly a gay pride flag in the classroom. They don't put a gay pride flag over the U.S. American flag, okay? So there's why I wouldn't live in the United States. My wife said the same thing. They're not, people here are very, very intelligent, okay? And they don't want their children raised that way either. So if that's, push comes to shove, if I was to raise a child here over the United States, I would feel much, much better. They have better security. There aren't as many Looney Tune crazy people out there targeting your children.
There's basically no school shootings here.
Exactly. There are no school shootings here in the Philippines. Nobody goes into school and shoots up kids. It's called the safe zone for a reason. It's even stated on the school walls. They put safe zone. People don't shoot up schools. Okay, that's their kids, their babies.
Yeah, there's something drastically wrong in the United States. When you see, people think Philippines is a third world country, but there's school shootings here. There's guns everywhere. Every mall, every city, you see guns everywhere.
Guns everywhere.
They're not taking them to the school to shoot the kids though, like in the United States.
You used to see R? Beeping? I'll put you down here.
All right.
Just a minute, guys. There you go, right there. Right there. I'm not going to take you upstairs. Sorry. Okay. Okay, guys. So basically, when you look at raising a child in the U.S. versus raising a child here, of course, there are many, many good places in the United States to raise your kid. There are a lot of great places, okay?
Usually very rural. Very rural. We're very far from each other.
Yeah. Rural, country places, like up in the hills of Tennessee, West Virginia,
Arkansas, Missouri,
Mississippi, Arkansas,
Oklahoma,
Louisiana.
Kansas, yeah.
When you get into the rural areas, you know, kids are kids and boys are boys and girls are girls,
Yeah.
and everybody knows what their gender is, you know. It's when they get into big cities, they lose it for some reason.
They get into the universities. It's like
universities, wow.
It's like our recent
It's like
example.
an opening of their mind. They say,
Yeah.
oh, wow, I can be that. And it's a whacked out that. Anyway, so enough by that. A good reason for coming here, though, is that exactly. You know, you don't want to raise your kids in that type of environment. So come to the Philippines, which is a very, very Christian nation, folks. This is a Christian nation, okay? This nation believes in God.
And I've heard my whole life in the United States how we can't have prayer in school. Government can't pray. Constitution shouldn't be praying. And here they're doing all of that. And is it causing a problem for anyone?
Not a problem at all. You know, and we pray, and they pray in school every day. When we're at an event, they say a national anthem. They sing the national anthem,
And then
and they have a prayer. Okay, every event, fiesta, school events, all type events, we always say a prayer here.
And nobody's being stoned for not participating, right?
Exactly.
Just to be clear. If you don't want
They
to,
want
nobody's
you-
being stoned for not participating.
But they are all participating because
right.
they're all Christian.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they're Catholic or they're Iglesia en Cristo or they're evangelistic, whatever religion. There are many religions here in the Philippines, but they're all Christians. They believe in God. Okay, that's the whole thing. There are a lot of Muslims in the Philippines. They believe in Muhammad or Islam or whatever their belief is. It's allowed. There is no racism in the Philippines. Okay? You want to just put it bluntly? There is no difference in color. Black, white, brown, yellow, whatever color. Purple, green, it doesn't matter. There is no difference. No one looks at you by your color. Nobody says a word about color here.
Yeah, very rare.
This was
very
like
rare.
before, like the way it was years and years ago in the United States used to be that way,
Yeah.
until it suddenly changed. And you know what? I'm so happy that's the way it is. You know, they may call you Kano because you have white skin, you know. Or they may call you Gabo if you're bald. You know, they have a little name for everybody. But it's not derogatory. It's not negative. They're not putting you in a box and slamming you with it. You know, it's totally different, guys. So there's so many reasons why the Philippines is a great country to live in. And we were talking earlier before we even started this video about the coming here. And I said, you know, I believe people are just afraid to take that step forward. You know, it's not a difficult decision when you think about it overall. It's a huge step for some people because you're going to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to fly to a strange country. You're going to send your stuff over here, okay? You're going to come over here, establish a new relationship with somebody in most cases, or you might even bring your wife and kids with you, okay? There's nothing stopping people from bringing their whole family over here and establishing life in the Philippines. There's nothing. So you got to go to immigration every 2 months or whatever, you know? You go get an SR visa. There's nothing to stop you from relocating your entire family to the Philippines. And I'll tell you what, it's easier here than it is going from California, South Carolina to California.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah.
I tell you that right now, it's easier. Life here is simple, and getting established here is so much easier, cheaper. You know, when you look at overall, it's cheaper. You have many, many people around you that will help you. They may not even know you, and they still will help you. Yeah. You know, everybody's friendly here. You know, I haven't met anyone who wasn't unfriendly. You know, so I don't know. What other aspects you want to talk about? I mean, I've seen so much here that it's like night and day.
Just I feel like you have more stability here.
You do.
Far more stability here than in the U.S.
You have freedom here.
Yes, you have far more freedom just because you're not living in a police state here.
Exactly.
You're not under surveillance 24/7. There's not highway patrol, and you don't need them. I mean, the roads are wild, but once you learn how to drive here, you can drive here. And you make a mistake in traffic, you don't have to worry about. You're not going to pull out the ticket book, start writing you up with fines, take your driver's license, all that kind of stuff.
If you don't do a complete stop at a stop sign, you know, most of the time there's no stop signs. Okay.
The cost of insurance in the United States, the cost of it's for some reason they don't have all that here.
I don't know how much does liability for a vehicle cost you in the United States? Liability insurance.
About $1,000 a year, probably right now.
Ours costs about 1,000 pesos
a year.
Yeah, about $20 versus your $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, full coverage insurance here for your vehicle, comp, collision, full coverage, 35,000 pesos a year. 700 a year.
Your medical bills.
Full
here.
coverage.
Your medical bills are much less here.
Medical's much less. Dental's much less. You go pull your tooth for $10.
So how much? The cost of having a kid in the U.S. alone is bankrupting people.
Right, that is true.
And
here, I've had 3 children. Right, Micah cost us 4,000 pesos.
4,000 pesos.
Yeah, we went 4,000. That's like $80. Ella, we took her to a private doctor. And I think we paid all in with everything was around 12,000 pesos. And MJ was born right here in the birthing center in Quinana Dutay that we passed before you go over the bridge.
Okay.
He was born right there, and I think I want to think it was like 1,000 pesos, like $20.
$20.
Okay.
For some reason, a lot of people, the majority of people can't get that done in the U.S. for less than probably $20,000.
What they do is they ask you to bring a box with your things you need, like the woman, what you're going to need once you've had the birth, you know,
bring your own supplies,
your napkins and stuff like that. Bring your supplies, and then things that the child will need. You know, bring the child's clothes. You're going to put on him, and you know, the gloves and things like that. That's all they ask you to bring with you. And then for all the supplies, cloths and stuff like that they use when you're birthing the baby, you can bring that. And then you can give the lady, the midwife, you know, you give her 500 pesos for being there with your child when he's born, helping you have the baby, you know.
So did they do good like prenatal screening to make sure it was going to come out right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they pretty much knew everything was good.
They know everything, yeah.
So if
you go to the doctor every month, they're at the doctor anyway.
Yeah.
We're going for doctor visits now. The doctor visits here, they run you about, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 pesos a visit.
Yep.
You know,
Reasonable, yeah.
like $6-8
Which
like
which
that.
which raises questions in my mind of just why can't we do that in the U.S.?
They can do it. They don't want to.
They don't want to.
They don't want to.
Whose pockets are getting lined? And the other thing is when you get you get a job, you got employer provided health insurance, and you're a guy, you're single, maybe you want to you want to have a family, but you're subsidizing the insurance for the people that are already married, the women that are having kids and all that,
Right.
at these exorbitant costs. That's one thing that really messes the playing field up in the U.S. is that a single guy can't really build wealth because he's subsidizing all the other folks.
Yeah, he has to pay so much out of his wages.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Here, you pay your wage, you pay your portion of PhilHealth, Pagabig, and SS, right? Social Security. Their Social Security is different from ours. You pay in on your paycheck, maybe you're going to pay 300 pesos, 400 pesos, right? Because you don't make so much money anyway. But you know, the reason people want to go from here to the U.S. is to earn the money that the U.S. is offering.
They want to earn it in the U.S. and spend it back here.
And spend it back here.
They don't
So-
want. They're going to hold it in the U.S. if they're smart. And they're going to spend it here.
Well, it's just like my daughter. I told her, I said, "Hon, you're going to have your own money before you go to college. You're going to have your own money. You can decide if you want to go to the U.S. and go to college, or you want to stay in the Philippines, take over our business here. You know, that's up to her." And I talked to her about even joining the U.S. military and following my footsteps on submarines, because women now can be submarine sonar technicians. Okay, so that might be a really cool job she'd enjoy. But I also told her better if she got a college degree and became an officer in the Navy rather than enlist in the Navy, because when you do retire, you get a lot bigger paycheck.
Yeah.
But even 20 years, to have my daughter go to the U.S. for 20 years is scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary. And to put her in the U.S. military is even scarier. That's why I'm now at a point where I'm really thinking seriously, I don't want to convince her to go anywhere.
Yeah.
She can just stay right here. She can have a good life here. Thank you. She has plenty of money here. And we have, before she's 18 years old, I'm going to build her a house here. She'll have her own house to live in when she turns 18.
Yep.
You know, we bought a property in Cavite.
In America,
Tanza.
people that are in their 30s can't even afford the payment for the mortgage, the down payment.
No, not even
It's,
close.
it's crazy.
Here, at 18 years old, my daughters will each own, when they turn 18, they will have a house to live in if they want. Or they can live at home. People here don't kick their kids out.
That's-
Don't say you turn 18, you got to leave. They don't do that here.
Yep. Who encourages
You know?
that? Why are they doing that? And
Why-
then
why are they
BlackRock
doing
goes
that
out
in the
and-
US?
BlackRock goes out, buys all the houses up, so you got no choice. They drive the price of the houses up, the investment
Yeah.
funds,
Yeah.
and then you gotta rent
Thank
it
you,
from them.
Inday. She brought us all coffee.
Yeah.
You know the housing cost in the U.S. is crazy high too. It doesn't have to be.
You fly over the United States. I mean, there's populated areas, but most of the United States is still open land.
Yeah, there's a lot of open land.
There's a lot of open
A lot of
land.
open land.
And Trump was talking about building some new cities, taking the government land and making new cities to alleviate the housing crisis.
Well, he could easily. He could just take the old bases that the Democrats have shut down and build cities on the bases.
Yeah.
There's housing there already, and it's still good housing. Put the homeless people in it.
Anytime you try to alleviate the housing price, you've got people that have a house, their value has escalated, and they don't want the housing price alleviated. So you got a generation that owns all these houses, or you got even now very nefarious
terrible.
investment funds, and they don't want policy that's gonna make it easier for people to build new houses and put them on the market to lower the
Yeah,
price,
right.
because then they lose their investment. Their investment
right.
will go down.
You know, living here.
There's a lot
you
of
know-
perverse incentive in the economy of the United States right now.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a number of reasons why you guys should come here. It's not just the food and the, easy housing, the money. Don't come here thinking you're going to get a job, okay, guys? Don't come here thinking you're going to work. If you have a business, like an online business that you're currently running, you can run it from anywhere in the world. That's fine.
Digital
you're-
nomad.
Yeah, well, if
Digital nomad.
you're doing YouTube, like James is doing a lot of YouTube, I'm just getting into it. Ray's doing it. A lot of people are doing YouTube to earn money. It takes a while to get established. If you have good mentors and good friends, like James has helped me tremendously, and all of you folks out there who are coming in to watch our videos, that subscribe and support us, give us likes, subscribe, and you're supporting our channel. When we become monetized, I think it's going to go crazy, because the type of topics that James and I are discussing is everyday life in the Philippines, and to help you to transition to the Philippines from any country, whether it be Australia, U.S., Canada, England, anywhere you want to come from. We have many people from India come here. Many. They're coming from South Korea. It's all because everything here is so much nicer, guys. That's why we have such a growth of people in this country. Yet this country, get out in the province like I am. What do we have? 70 homes here, probably 70 houses, you know, maybe 250 adults living here over the age of 18. They vote. Citizens, we don't vote, guys. We don't get involved in politics.
It's not like America where non-citizens are voting.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
They don't put up with that here.
You're a non-citizen in this country.
It's not America.
You don't
If you're
vote.
not a citizen, you can't vote here.
You don't vote.
Yeah.
And you don't want to vote. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
What goes on in the politics of this country.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
And also, if you think you're going to come in here and they're going to let you buy all their land, all their agricultural land, and you know, buy thousands of acres and all their means of production, and then hire foreign people to do all the work. Nope, you can't do that here either.
Can't buy their land.
That's an American phenomenon also.
Yeah, the land that's here belongs to Filipinos. Okay, Americans cannot own land.
Even Filipinos, for most part, not always, but for the most part, are limited only to 5 hectares in the more.
Well, like
there are exceptions on very
but
rural
here,
places like here.
Certainly here where we live, many people have many hectares of land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the government has a program to where the government wants to give away land that's not being used. They want poor farmer
They want it in
folk
production.
and fishing folk. They don't have a way of income or money. They want them to become farmers. So they'll incentivize them by taking land from the rich that they deem as not being used, and they will give it to the poor through their Department of Agrarian Reform. Okay, so they have a program to take your land if you're not using your land. But in the case of most people here, if you buy land and you're raising cattle,
Yeah.
then put a couple cattle, leave a couple cattle. If you're transferring the cows from one location to another to relieve the grass and let it grow, leave 1 or 2 cows. You're using the land there. See,
Yeah.
they can't come in and say, well, there's nothing on this land. We're going to take this land. No, they're going to see your 2 cows there. You're using your land. Okay? If you have 5,000 head of cattle, and you got 2 in this field and 2 in that field and 5 in that field and 5,000 in the other field, whatever, they can't take your land from you because you are using it. It's only for land that's not being used. People just sitting on land, they come in, they look, they took 100 hectares from the vice mayor of this city. From his family, they took 100 hectares of land.
One of my it's kind of good. I kind of see the flip side of the coin because in the U.S. we've got Department of Agriculture programs that incentivize consolidation. So we got farmers now that own 2 to 10,000, maybe even more acres, and we got a lot of states ban corporate farming, but there are loopholes to that. And we have big corporations now vertically integrated, owning land, owning livestock. You know, and pretty soon you're going to have one corporation owns everything. And how is that different than communism? It's not.
And pretty soon, China's going to own it all.
Yeah, I mean,
China's buying it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's absolutely happening. And
I can only imagine how much land Putin owns in the U.S.
There are people in America that think America's way is superior, but America is letting itself be bought out by its adversaries. Philippines will not allow. China can't come in here and buy the Philippines land. America, they can come in and buy it. And very few people are saying anything about it.
Right. We're not saying we're better living here. We're not better than anybody. You may have the most fantastic lifestyle where you live, okay? We're not saying it's absolutely better. This is a different lifestyle. Okay, we're saying for us, this fits our needs.
Yeah.
This fits our sustainability plans. We're looking at long term. We're looking at, should there be a war? How do we survive?
Yep.
I have my relatives right here, and they're going to help me survive. You know, even if China comes on the beach, guess what? We own a lot of boats here. Okay, we own a lot of bolos. Let China come. I guarantee you, everybody here is going to fight them. We're not going to let them stomp through our land and take it over. You know, so it's a whole different story here, guys, than other places in the world. But people here are very close knit, and they know how to rise up and take back what's theirs. So even if they do get overwhelmed by millions and millions, at some point they're going to come back and get it back. I guarantee you.
They can't come here.
They know how to sustain and
Your
survive.
silent service under the water out there will prevent them from doing that.
Yeah. What else topics we were going to discuss? We had a few lined up here, guys.
Well, electricity for one, you're off grid, so you solved the electric problem.
Yeah, off-grid electricity is the way to
You
go,
have
guys.
solar, you have your diesel engines. If you have to, you can resort to coconut oil if you need a little bit of energy to propel your fishing vessels. Or
Yeah, we can make biodiesel, guys, here. You can take coconut, many thousands of coconut.
Yeah.
You can take corn. You can do a number
and that's
of...
being done. That's being done in the hills, all mountains, all over
Exactly,
here.
all over.
People are taking the coconuts and refining them in the coconut oil here
That's right.
in a primitive way. So coconut oil is widely available here.
Yeah.
And
Very available, very
so
easy
it's-
to use, easy to burn.
It's
and
biodiesel.
diesel.
It's biodiesel right
Yeah.
there. So if you have to, you can. And there's enough knowledge here to keep those engines running for a long time.
There's a guy right over here. That's all he uses, old oil. That's all he uses, old motor oil.
So you have a neighbor that's using old motor
Yeah,
oil.
just motor oil. Run this diesel engine with it. He's going around to all the little motorcycle shops, getting all the oil where they do oil changes. He's bringing it home in his sidecar. He's putting it right there. He's running his diesel on it. Crazy, huh?
Yep. Brilliant.
But that's what he does.
And
Now we do selling of gasoline and diesel, so we probably have more. I have more diesel and gasoline and gasol, like propane, here in my shed here. I've got more than anybody in the village. You know, so
You've got a stockpile.
I have a stockpile, a nice stockpile. I'm going to survive. I'm going to be able to keep going fishing when I take away the diesel from everybody else. When I just say, I can't sell you anymore. You know, I'm still going to be running my boats out here and sustaining life, doing just fine. It was so good here. I'll tell you how good it was. I was here during COVID. In 2020, I moved back into this village because I was living in the city. And my wife and I decided, the city's not a place to have kids during a pandemic.
Yeah.
And the village we lived in, they locked the gates. You couldn't go out.
That's crazy.
When you had to get special permission from the barangay captain, from the city, the office there, to get a pass to go to the grocery store to buy groceries. Okay? And they know when you leave, you log out, and you know when you come back. All right? You can't just take off and go somewhere else. Because everyone was in lockdown. Here, where I lived, there was no lockdown. Okay? My yard is there. You're looking at it, the beach. You tell them, I'm going fishing. You log in the logbook. Mike Alabo, going fishing. Here's our crew. Do. And half the time they weren't even taking the logbook. Nobody even cared. Nobody logged in. They just jumped in a boat to go catch food.
That's the difference. Another difference between the Philippines and the United States. In the United States, we pass a ridiculous law. If the political in crowd is decreeing it, it's going to get enforced. The jackboot's going to be on your neck. Here, people just pretend to go along with it and don't go along with it. I've noticed that. Lots of scofflaws here
Yeah.
and no consequences.
No consequences. But like we were talking earlier about the police, right?
Yeah.
The police here in the Philippines, they set checkpoints, for example, because they want to stop the people to check their driver's license, right? So they see if their vehicle is, if the person driving has a license. That's all they're checking for.
And all you got to do is stop, look around, go around, just go take another road to go around them, and nobody's going to stop you.
Even if there's
cares.
not a way around,
You just wait. You just
then
pull
you
over
just
and have lunch.
pull over with everybody else. There's 100 vehicles on the side of the road waiting.
Everybody's waiting.
As soon as the police pull up a checkpoint, everybody goes.
Nobody cares.
Nobody stops you. The police are sitting right there. The checkpoint is over. They don't stop you. They don't walk down the road to bust people. They don't target people.
Yeah.
It's against the law for them to target you.
Yeah.
Okay? Unlike the U.S., where the guy's hiding, a plainclothes guy standing outside the bar, going, yeah, the guy in the blue shirt just got in car, tag number, blah, 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 blah. California license plate. He's in a white Mustang GT. Dut, dut, dut. He headed northbound.
Yeah.
You go northbound 1 block, you turn right, and woo, they light you up. Why? Because you just walked out of the bar. You could have been sober when you walked out and stumbled, but they target you. They hunt you down. Here, nobody cares. If you drink and have an accident, then
You're gonna pay.
caught. You're going to pay.
Then you're gonna pay.
If
That's
you,
how it ought to be.
If you
No pre-crime.
don't have an accident
Yeah.
and you get home safely, there are no police out there at night. At some checkpoints, there are some, but where I live, there's none.
Nothing.
So you can drink all you want, drive wherever you want, pretty much.
We're advocating that when you're not advocating that. But
Yeah, but it's the proof is that they're not targeting you.
Yeah.
As a citizen of
Yeah.
the country or an individual in their country, they're not purposely hunting to give you a ticket
Yeah.
for doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Not like the U.S. where they sit on the corners and wait for someone to slow stop at the stop sign. Maybe you went 2 feet over the line, but stopped. Oh, you ran the stop sign. That is the kind of life you guys in the U.S. are faced with every day.
That's why we get these questions. We get a lot of questions
And it's so
about
simple here.
speed traps, about radar guns.
Yeah.
None of that.
They
none
have
of that.
radar guns. They do.
Yeah, but they
In
don't
Manila
use-
on Rojas Boulevard,
They-
down by Mall
they've
of
got-
Asia, they have.
They've got one here on my island, over by Sigma. They got
Really?
actually they got two. They got overhead radar guns,
Oh,
and
really?
they will take your photo and mail you a ticket.
Okay.
If you're and you gotta be, you gotta be going.
They
pretty
do a
good.
lot of that non-contact apprehension.
Uh-huh.
Okay, do the same. There's cameras everywhere, guys. Believe me, there's cameras everywhere. If you're driving on Edson Boulevard and you're speeding along, you're zipping in and out of traffic, or you're going into the carpool lane or the bus lane.
Yeah.
You want to ride in the bus
Yeah.
lane, which is highly illegal. They got you on camera. They're just going to send a ticket right to your house.
Yep.
It's a non-contact apprehension. Okay. If you don't respond, they're going to then come to your house. Okay. They're really strict about that. So, there's a lot of laws here. Obey the laws.
Yeah.
If they say don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive. If you're coming home from a party, you had 3 or 4 drinks, you shouldn't be driving anyway.
Yeah.
Somebody else should be driving.
Yeah.
But if no one else is licensed but you, then go slowly and get everybody home safely. Have your wife and the people in the car look out and say, hey, look, I know I had a few too many to drink. You guys help me here. And they'll help you. That's one of the bugs right there that gets in the Kauaian.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you gotta. This looks like almost. No, it hasn't been treated yet, huh? You gotta treat it.
Yeah, they oiled it, but
Okay.
we're gonna. I want to varnish it too. That was-
Mothballs.
Look, another one. I
Mothballs
just
mixed
saw him.
with.
I just saw him run off there.
Black
What else were we going to talk about? There's a few other things we were going to talk about. Let's look at we had a little kind of checklist we had discussed before we came down here. And I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, there might be a couple
Maybe
things
one
we
or two
left out.
things. We covered schools, we covered police, we covered food, pretty much. Guys,
Year-round growing season. You love a lot of perennials, a lot of trees.
yeah.
Food's so easy here.
The thing about living in the province, guys, we have 6 months. Generally in the Philippines, you have 6
Rain.
months of rainy season, 6 months of hot season. Okay. Before you look at a property to purchase it, make sure the property has water. Don't buy a property with no water. Okay. And I've got a sister-in-law that did that right over here. Now she comes back to me to buy water to take it from her village next door, the next village, to have water at her house. She has no water there. She has a brackish, saltish water tank that somebody dug in her yard, and it's not even really suitable for doing laundry. Okay, so make sure you have a source of water, and that's a real big problem in a lot of places in the Philippines. There's a lot of islands, but there's a very big shortage of water, guys. So depending on where you live or want to live, look at the water situation for sure. But anyway, the rainy season, you can do rain collection. Okay, you can use rainwater for washing your clothes, for watering your gardens, giving to your animals, everything. Some people even shower with it. I don't. I have a well that I shower that's water that comes out of the ground, hard water. It's more hard. But
Looks like we got everything. Looks pretty good. We
okay.
did from memory. We did pretty good, I think, Mike.
All right.
Good.
Well, thank you all. Thank you for coming. We enjoyed it. We split the video up. We want you guys to visit both channels. We want you to enjoy the content that we both make together. And we're going to be collaborating a lot in the future. So we want you guys to get used to coming and visiting both channels. So that's what we're trying to do, is making sure we open both channels to make it a great collaboration.
Yep. It's gonna be. We're gonna cover everything. We're gonna talk about everything. Nothing is off limits. So.
Yeah, nothing's off limits here.
Any questions, guys? Feel free to leave comments on Michael's channel, and
We'll
Michael,
answer them all for you.
and whatever you think I can answer, you can ask me as well, guys. So
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go fishing here soon, guys.
let's
We
go
hope you
fishing.
join us for a live fishing trip. Our intention this time is to go out a little farther. It's probably about an hour's drive out to where we're going. And we're hoping to catch more shrimp, more crab, and have a really good meal. Today is Friday, and we're also planning a karaoke for Saturday evening.
Excellent.
So I hope you guys join us for that. A lot of you really enjoyed it. The last time we had like 119,000 viewers.
119,000.
Okay, so guys, you want to party? Come back and enjoy our parties. We'll show you how to party in the Philippines. We'll show you a good time.
Yeah. They can
You'll
light
be
off.
happy.
They can light off all their nuclear weapons up north. We'll just be having a party.
We're not concerned about weapons over here, guys.
Yeah.
We didn't cover gun ownership here, but that's something we can cover in another.
Just let your wife do it, guys. Let your wife fund your wife's new shooting hobby, and that's all you gotta do. Let the wife take care of it.
There's no need. There's nothing to hunt here anyway.
Nothing to hunt, but
What are you gonna hunt? Somebody's chickens?
If you've got a cash intense business, and there are guys that like come here and their wives are like I know guys that are like jewelers and stuff.
Right.
Their wife's got a gun under the counter, and they got it from the PNP. You just go to the PNP.
Exactly.
Have
Your
her
wife
go
can
to the
get a permit.
PNP.
If
She
you're
can
a
get the same
business-
license the security guards got. Keep it in a safe. Somebody that's not supposed to be coming comes over the shore. You let your wife go
You can carry a gun here, guys. Your wife can carry a gun in her purse.
for security.
The only time you cannot carry a gun
During
is
elections.
during election
Yeah.
time. And there's a long window. It's almost 5 months long that they start Comelec checkpoints. And they will tell you what day. Okay? And at that point, don't carry a gun in the Philippines. Don't let your wife carry her gun. Because she's going to go to jail if she gets caught. And you never know when they're going to pop up a checkpoint and search you. Okay? There's no
How do the security
warrant
guards?
here.
How do the security guards get to their job during elections?
no.
They're allowed?
They're allowed. They have
Well,
permits.
what if you have? Yeah, okay. So you have the, she has the permit because you have a jeweler, or you're
They
doing
may allow,
Lular.
but you look into that separately.
Yeah.
I don't know that rule. Individuals, probably depending on what you own. Like if you own a Palawan store,
Yeah.
you're
then
transferring
you're going to
money
have to
and
get to your
that-
job.
I would think that
Yeah.
they would be allowed, but elections a different animal. They
Yeah.
don't want people having guns, guys.
Yeah, we have to look into that one. And
They
answer that
stopped
question.
the gun carrying during
Even the
election
bolos.
time.
They don't even want people carrying bolos, I think, during election. Tom told me that
Really? I don't know.
they had the checkpoints up by us during the election. He said even the bolos, because we're going around from between the two farms, and sometimes you got to move bolos between farms. I mean,
I would
it's like-
leave it there.
Yeah.
If you're going somewhere, leave a couple bolos on your farm and not bring them with you.
somebody picks them up though. If you leave it off, you got to hide it, dude. I guess.
Yeah. The easiest way is just go up on a tree and stick it on the ground.
Yeah.
You're not going to see
So you
it.
gotta think of that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
Jerry, they're not looking to get you. You would be stupid to go through checkpoint with something like that, though.
But if, like, people here used to shoot those alcohol guns,
Yeah.
marble guns.
Yeah.
Those are very popular.
And then that's another thing. People here, a lot of them haven't heard a gunshot, like the kids and the ladies here, and they don't know the difference between fireworks and like the alcohol gun and an actual. So they're thinking they're hearing gunfire, and what they're hearing is fireworks.
Could be a firework,
Yeah. We got a shooting range right by us, so we hear that all the time. There's a shooting range like real close to us.
I don't get involved with guns in the Philippines, and
It's
I have
expensive.
bolos.
It's way more expensive.
I
here.
have bolos there. And the guy even gave me an old bow and arrow. It's like the guy that's in the Eagles Club.
Antique. Yeah.
It's a handmade bow and arrow here. All the arrows are handmade.
Yeah.
You can make a video on it if you want.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Absolutely.
It's got an old bamboo bow, strung already, and he gave me 4 arrows with the original tips on them and feathers, and it still shoots if you want to shoot it, but I don't shoot it. It's like a decoration to me. And it's decoration to my wife. It's not to me. I don't own any weapons of any kind of destruction.
You got a lot.
But again,
you got a lot of loyal help. So that's what I figure. I got a lot of loyal help. I'm getting older anyway. I don't need to be doing that. I can let my 20-something-year-old kuyas that got better reflexes handle all that stuff. And I trust them. I trust them with my wife's life and my life. They
Exactly
might as well
right.
let them do it.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly.
if I was 18 over here somehow, I might feel differently about it. But
I got a lot of brother-in-laws, and believe me, if
I mean, if
push came to shove, they'll protect me. you know?
exactly. And if the paratroopers come in, you know what they say and we were soldiers. There'll be enough laying out on the ground anyway. So in the state of emergency, things are different.
They won't parachute into Masbate. What are they going to do, land on a cow?
The Americans, over there in Bataan and Corregidor, when they took Corregidor and Bataan back, they parachuted out of DC-3s on top of it was the Army actually, on top of the plateau, climbed down, and they like got every Japanese enemy combatant on that island, except for like 3 that were concussed in a cave. They got all the rest of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. Pretty interesting.
Guys, we're going to go ahead and end our video. We appreciate that you came in. God bless you all. Thank you. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Enjoy us with our business for our fishing trip.